Hey, church family, happy Tuesday. I hope your week is going well. Wanted to stop and give you a word of encouragement today and tell you a few things that are happening in the life of our church this week, things that are going to be vital and they're going to be a blessing to you if you'll join us. Tomorrow at noon, Wednesday, that we will have a lunchtime prayer time. On Facebook Live, and it'll be just about 15 minutes. It'll be very worship based. You'll have a chance to participate and be a part of that. So put that on your calendar. Be looking for that. Join us for about 15 minutes tomorrow, Facebook Live. And then also, again, we'll have our parent support group that evening, 6 o'clock on Zoom, and then our church-wide prayer encounter on Saturday, and we'll be using Zoom for that as well. Then next Sunday, we're going to try a couple of things a little bit different. We're going to take our Bible study for adults and move it from 9:30 until 9. We're using Zoom for that study. We'll go from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. We'll give it another 15 minutes. And then from 10 o'clock till 10:20, our children are going to come together and they're going to use the technology to see each other and get the rest of their study. And so that way they get a chance to connect with each other. And all of that's going to happen before our worship service at 10:30. So I wanted to give you just a quick flyover of some of the things that we're going to be doing online. And I want to really encourage you to not overlook those prayer opportunities, those times where we can come together to pray. I can promise you this, the devil does not want us to pray. He does not want us to come together and seek God's face. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. He hates it, it makes him mad, and he is going to fight. So don't be surprised if tomorrow is going to be a rough day. Don't be surprised if by noon you're slammed with work or something else has come up and you just can't make it. Then don't be surprised Saturday if you've got all sorts of other things going on, you get so busy or you get this or that and you just can't make it on Saturday night. Don't be surprised if you start to see that happening, because that's exactly what the devil wants to do. He wants to keep us away from coming together and seeking God's face in prayer, because he knows that when that happens, he's powerless. So I want to flip the script on that. I want to pick a fight with the devil. I want to encourage you to make that a priority and join us. I promise you, God is going to not only be there, but he's going to bless and he is going to speak and he's going to move in our hearts. So I want to give you encouragement there. And then I want to give you some more encouragement, because quite honestly, if the experts are correct, the news this week is not going to be that great. In fact, we're going to hear of even more people who are going to contract this awful virus. We're going to hear of more people who are going to die, and it's going to be a really difficult season. We'll hear other hardships and we'll hear more difficulties. So don't be surprised if that happens. But I want to give you a little word of encouragement today. I want you to think, if you were the most wanted person in the nation and you were on everybody's wanted list to such a degree that you had to flee the country. But then the country that you went to realized that you were in their country and they kicked you back out and you had to come back to the country, to the nation. Then on top of that, when you came home, you discovered that there were other people who came and kidnapped your family and kidnapped the families of the other people that were traveling with you. You weren't just on your own, but you had an entire group of people that were traveling with you. Well, that's what David was. That's what David found out in the scriptures. It says that when he was the most wanted man in all of Israel, Saul wanted him dead. And then he fled and went over to the Philistines. The Philistines found out he was there and they kicked him out and said, you have to go back home. And then, so he and all of his men that were part of his army, they went back to Ziklag, the town of Ziklag, and they found that the Amalekites had raided the village and kidnapped their women and their children. Now I want you to listen to this, because this is phenomenal. He says David was in a difficult position because the troops talked about stoning him, for they were all very bitter over the loss of their sons and daughters. But get this now, David found strength in the Lord his God. Boy, it got really hard. it got really tough. I mean, imagine everybody wanted you arrested, and even your own friends wanted you dead. They wanted to kill you because of all the hardship that's happened. You know, when we get afraid, when we get to a point where we panic, we lash out and hurt people. But the place where we find the strength is in the Lord our God. So we have to keep our eyes on Christ. That's your best option. That is your best weapon. Get your eyes on Christ and see what He is going to do next. I love you. Let's stay in this together with our eyes on Christ, and let's see what He's going to do next.